Well, it's that time of year when we get to celebrate extremely wealthy professional athletes getting even more money into their bank accounts. Records have been broken. Hearts have been broken. We've got reunions and we've got rivalries reignited. And we're going to run through all the action of the first night of action of the IPL Mega Auction 2025. And we're doing it for Big Basket now.
This is Baby Now, and this is BB Now. Matlab Big Basket Now, delivering in 10 minutes.
That is Big Basket Now, and this is TGC Now. Pezza, this is the Mega Auction 2025. Big night of action.
Big time, brother. Like, what are we talking about? 72 players sold overnight. Rest of the slots being filled tomorrow. We're talking about, from an Australian perspective, switching from CROR to INR to USD to AUD. You're talking about a live audience there in Jeddah for an auction, kind of like trying to buy a house in Sydney. You're talking about other optics like Mahela Jayawardene have been used as an armrest by the Ambanis. Lots to discuss and lots to enjoy, and you'll definitely get it here on this show. Easily the most detailed financial analysis of the IPL auction. But I thought we'd start with just who went big. He goes in set one, where the big boys play.
Yeah.
And we have a new record. And thank God we have a new record in this inflation era.
Yeah.
I'd be worried if someone hadn't gone past Mitch Starc, especially after Australia's performance in the last couple of days. But LSG splurged 27 crore for punt. That's 3.1 million USD for those playing in the one colour. What do we want to say about this? I mean, RCB went toe-to-toe with them up to 20 crore. And then they said, hey, they dropped out, and then DC were offered the right to match, the old RTM there, which that's my Bible.
Yes.
And LSG said, get out of here. Yeah. They just went from 20 to 27. And I don't know if that's an owner just going like, no, seriously, get out of here. I don't care if we've had simulations.
Yeah.
I don't care if we've got a tight budget and being frugal with our purse.
Yeah.
But whatever the case, Rishabh Pant is at LSG. He's their marquee player. He's their guy.
Yeah, and just thinking about what that might mean, it's pretty exciting to think about Rishabh and Nicholas Pooran there at LSG in the middle order for them.
I'm really excited.
They've also bought Mitch Marsh for less money. So, there are some players and there are some names there. But it's interesting with Rishabh because it's not a wonderful T20 record. He's obviously taken the captaincy reins at DC before, but the record is surprisingly unders for what it should be, right? But so I guess it's like it's everything around what the player
package.
is. It's a package, yeah.
It's holistic approach. I mean, what about the marketing opportunity? What about the jewel in the crown, as you were saying off air earlier as well?
I tried to. I gave it a go. I got it wrong.
The crown jewels. Yeah. No, that was Liam Livingston for the Scorchers getting hit there.
Yeah.
But
LSG have spunked their purse.
That's exactly right. They've spunked their purse on a big toy.
Yeah.
And last night, Rishabh Pant was seen throwing money at tables and people at Crown Casino Perth, as is his wont. Then also going into KL Rahul's room and going, what am I looking forward to here? He's like, I don't know, brother, I'm out.
I'm pretty sure he was lighting cigars with $100 US bills, which I don't know how you get those in Australia, but that's what he was doing. Other big money, Pezza, Shreyas Iyer to Punjab for 25.75 crore. That's US 3.18 million. What caught my eye with this is Ricky Ponting's comments. Ponting obviously taking the reins over there at Punjab, and he said, I've worked with him before, and he's a great guy and a great player. So far, so good. Then he said this, he'll be a great leader for our team if we decide to go that way, which I'm pretty sure we probably will.
And
which just goes to show the power of the owners, because Ponting obviously wants this guy to be captain, but he's not sure if he's allowed to be the captain.
And that is, once again, for Australians like listening to that, you never hear Ricky Ponting equivocate on anything that he says ever.
No.
But when he's standing there and he just goes instinctively, he'll be a good leader before his actual brain goes like, that's clearly not my decision. And I better just water that down a little bit. That just goes to show who's really in charge.
But you feel like Gunley's back.
Exactly, particularly if you saw the way the LSG owners last year carried on the field with KL Rahul. Now, obviously, that's not Punjab. I liked Ricky Ponting's comment as well, saying, I haven't spoken to him yet, speaking of Shreyas. I tried to call him before the auction, but he didn't pick up. So, not sure if it's Shreyas' first preference there, but he has gone for bulk craw.
Yeah.
He looks like he'll be the captain. KKR, I noticed, who also said, we'll talk about Venki Iyer in a second, they wanted to keep their core together. Well, they dropped out at 10 craw for Shreyas Iyer. So I'm not sure if they wanted to complete, keep the complete core together, but nevertheless, they had a go.
Sometimes if you go away for a long period of time and you've got a car, you need to keep the car running. It's the same thing with the ping pong paddles. So if you leave them there for too long, they get rusty.
Exactly.
So you just got to put your hand up every now and then.
That's what RCB fans are thinking after last night. Some really rusty paddles. No, they've still got a big purse. Venki Iyer, he was a wanted man.
Yeah.
KKR and RCB with the big old purse there, the unspent purse going toe to toe. He goes for 23.75 craw allegedly, and what was interesting about this was that he's now making almost double what Narayan, Rinku, Shreyas and Chakravarthi from KKR, who were retained, are making. So KKR retained players before Venkatesh Iyer. Happy for him to go back into the auction, and they bring him back double their most valuable players.
It is a really curious one and a precarious one for players where you want to show great loyalty with the fans and the club and the franchise, right? But at the same time, if you're not retained, there is a chance to triple your income. So, and it begs the question. People are sitting there watching the IPL auction with pegs on their eyes, and they're thinking, why do some guys get more than they're worth? And then that's when someone next to them says, well, what you've got to understand about supply and demand economics is... Yeah.
But everything's coming up Venki.
Speaking of tripling income, Chahal nearly tripled his price from the 2022 mega auction back to Punjab. So in 2022, he was sold to Rajasthan for 6.5 crore, this time going for 18 crore. And he said that he spoke very well afterwards, and he said that he deserved it. He felt like he was good value for that. So, Punjab, an interesting side. We'll talk about what's interesting later, but I like what's going on there, because we did hypothesize last year, what is Punjab?
What is it? Yeah, we've heard other players to that as well in private. But a couple of other ones to run through here quickly as well. Arshdeep to Punjab for 18 crore. Josh Butler, if you can't speak properly, to GT for 15.
Right.
I'm just going to call it 15 now. Kratz to DC. That's Mitch Stark to most other people.
Yeah. He's taking a haircut there. It's taking half a haircut there.
That's right. What, did you just get just the 2 million USD this time?
It's funny how that sold, because obviously last year he broke the record, and then he was perceived as a failure despite winning the tournament.
That's right.
And now it's like, now he's only got half the money. I reckon he's going to be okay with that.
He'll be okay, old Kratzy boy.
Yeah.
That's 11.75 crore. Rabada to GT as well.
That's interesting.
10.75 crore. Yeah, I guess so. They got Siraj as well for 10.75.
Yeah.
And I'm reading these out to add value to people who are going, well, you know where I'll get my IPL analysis from, and just who went for what, the grade cricketer.
Yeah.
So to stick with it, KL Rahul to DC for 14 crore.
Okay.
Doesn't get his reunion with Virat that many people had speculated might happen, and a lot of people in Bangalore were definitely keen not to happen. Judging by our live show last year, that is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think he's actually just made a mistake because obviously Kohli is from Delhi, and so I think KL Rahul just went back there. You're
going back, aren't you?
Okay. Yeah, it's just made a mistake.
What else? I mean, I like the smart business of CSK, who just like to operate in the shadows with this stuff a little bit. They know what they're doing at CSK. Conway, Tripathi, Ratchan, and Ashwin all together for 23 crore. You get 4 players for 23 crore. Rishabh 27. It's a homecoming for Ashwin. So that's a story for them. And I know so many other players were sold and shit like that. Avesh Khan, Mitch Marsh, Miller, Aiden Markram. To go with punt at LSG, Warner and Bairstow go unsold.
Yes.
So the lunchroom at Lord's, not so good.
Well, I'd be interested to see what happens there with Punjab, who still have 22 crore to spend on 13 players and 6 overseas. Now,
I'll be very interested.
Now, Bairstow has played at Punjab before. I'm not sure what their opening batting positions might look like at the moment because I haven't got the squad in front of me. But, Warner was dropped by Ponting last year for Jake Fraser McGurk at Delhi, so I'm not sure what that might look like. But given Punjab have bought Maxwell for Australian 770k, which I think is it seems like a bargain to me. I know Maxwell didn't have a great tournament last year, and he seems a little bit out of form at the moment, but that's still explosive, world-class player. And to get that for under $1 million Australian seems like good business.
Well, just moving into the second thing, like what did you like? And obviously putting an Australian lens over this, but Ricky Ponting at Punjab, which, as you've said before, have often presented themselves as a sort of a hollow, identityless, cesspool of mediocrity. In the last couple of years. I thought
that's what the initials stood for originally.
Ricky Ponting, the new coach, building an Indian-Australian core
Right.
with Craw.
Core with Craw.
You've got Arshdeep Singh, you've got Yuzi Chahal, you've got Shreyas Iyer,
right.
Possibly the captain, unconfirmed by the owner yet. Followed by a couple of Aussies in there as well, in Stoinis and Maxwell.
Yep.
What I mean is they're just players that I recognise that have done well in Australia-India fixtures.
Yeah.
And therefore I'll take a passing kind of exhalation interest in them.
It is a tricky one initially where you try and line up the players and the teams and you're like, oh, that's going to be a good team. Like even like the first game of the season, you're like, oh, that's a good team. And then you just realise, oh, every team's an amazing team.
Good.
Every team's a world-class team.
Every team has players in them that at one stage or another have absolutely lit up the IPL or international cricket
right.
and have been in the argument for being the best player in the game at that time. So if that's all you want to do, you look at that team and go like, they've got so many great players. Yeah. And then your problem is you do it with 9 other teams. So
when I look at like GT, for instance, as you said before, picked up Josh Butler, Kagiso Rabada, Mo Siraj.
Guys have been good.
And their retains include Shubman Gill, Rashid Khan, maybe the best player ever in T20 cricket, Sai Sudarsan and Tawatia.
Yeah.
So that's going to be good. That's also going to be good. They've got 11 players still to buy with 17.5 crore remaining. So, but like GT and CSK operate in these levels of like team building and like functionality rather than like the Galacticos of the RCB, which I prefer the RCB method of just chaos and what could it be?
100%. And let's move to the third thing. Who's got work to do? A lot of RCB fans will be thinking, what could it be? Because they bought 6 players. They've got 9 players in their squad at the moment. Think RCB on the slide. They've got 9 players to play with so far.
They've got 30 crore to spend.
But a massive purse. And so they spent big on Salt, Jitesh, Hazelwood, and Rashik. But when you say they've got a big purse to spend, what could it be? I mean, isn't that just the symbolic, endemic feeling within RCB? Right. What could this be?
Yeah, exactly.
We don't know. We know it can be something.
Yeah.
We just haven't seen what that thing is yet.
Often what it is funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Livingston went there as well.
Livingston there, yeah. So bulk coin remaining. MI got bulk coin remaining as well. They only bought 4 players on day one. So they're at 9. Players as well, so they still yet to have an 11
and a team yet.
But and they only have 1 overseas player in Bolt, so they must be looking to go big on David Warner.
Yeah, a bit of a reunion there with Jaspreet and Trent. Opening line for MI, obviously Trent Bolt went to Rajasthan last year.
Also guys who are good players. They've got 26 crore to spend. They've got 16 out of 25 slots remaining and 7 overseas players to get. So a bit of work to do. Mumbai looking global.
What else did I like? Sunrisers. Ishan Kishan joined Sunrisers.
That's good.
So when I look at their side, for instance, they've got 12 players to buy with 4 overseas. So they've got Head, Abhishek, Klaasen, Reddy, Moshami, Ishan Kishan, Kaman Zampa, and Rahul Chahar. So again, like that looks pretty good.
Yeah, they made the final.
It doesn't feel like it's as exciting. As last year, but then again, the games haven't started yet. So...
Oh, I'm just looking forward to like impact sub first 6 overs, scores of none for 400.
Have we talked about every team so far? I think so.
And if we haven't, let that add into the comments as well, where someone says you didn't spend enough time in the 13 minutes we've been on discussing my team.
Yeah, what about Sydney Thunder this year? They look pretty good, and they'll be competing against them in the Champions League. All right, well, that's what happened on the first night. That's everything that happened on the first night of the IPL Mega Auction 2025. Thanks to Big Basket Now for getting behind TGC. We'll be back later today to wrap up Australia's stunning victory on day 4 of the Perth Test match. So we'll see you guys real soon. Click subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you guys on the internet real soon. Cheers.